I know this is silly for me to ask, but I'm curious. Like, do you think we'll ever see another PLE in Madison Square Garden? Madison Square
Sure.
Garden is so synonymous with WWE, but it does feel like more and more you guys are able to go to bigger markets and do bigger shows like stadium shows for these type events. And sometimes when you've been in New York in more recent years, it's been Barclays, and I can assume that that's just an economics decision. But to me, WWE will always be synonymous with MSG, and I know that it's always like the biggest house show of
Hey,
the year right after Christmas and all of that. But do you think like because to me, like from a business standpoint, you can't really put WrestleMania there, right? You could
if it were
probably
up to me, WrestleMania 40 would have been in Madison Square Garden.
really.
If it were up to me, WrestleMania 30 would have been in Madison Square Garden.
I got you. All the 10-year
WrestleMania 20,
anniversaries.
every 10 years to me. And look, do you say, okay, you raise the prices and that's a moment, man, to be in Madison Square Garden for
Oh
wrestling.
yeah.
But every 10 years, you're asking my personal opinion, I could see doing that easily.
Man, that'd be awesome. I don't know why, but as a wrestling fan, it's just it's a special building, and the idea that you've got those big moments happening there is cool. And I know that the presentation has to look different, like the short walkway, there's no big stage. I kind of like that. What do you think?
I always hated the way I hated the way that the Garden shot the Garden. It looks like shit.
Why?
Uh, what?
Why?
Because it shot into you shot into an entranceway with just people walking by all night long, and it made what you was happening in the ring feel uninteresting.
I got you.
Because in the background you got guys hanging on the railing talking about, yeah, what did you do last night? Yeah, hang on a minute. Okay, let me go get this. Too much too distracting. It looked like shit. Even when we would dress it up,
Still
you
look like
still
shit.
had it still was an active aisleway. Um so yeah, I never liked it. It made the event appear not interesting. There's too much bullshit going on, and the guys that are there every week, the ushers and all the security guys and all those guys are just sitting there bullshit. They're not watching the match. They're not, and if they don't care, why should anybody else? And you're looking at an aisle. You're not looking at excitement. When you have a backdrop of a crowd that is excited,
Yes.
then you get excited.
Yes. It's
When you're
infectious.
just looking at an entryway, eh, yeah, as Pat Patterson would say.
Let's I mean, what do you think about this Royal Rumble? Like, it'll always be remembered for Cena's return. Does that make it a top 5 Rumble for you?
I thought it was, look, for me, the miraculous return, and that's what it was, of
Yes.
John Cena. It was, and it was a good Rumble match.
Yes.
There was a lot to it. There was a lot of gaga, and it was Madison Square Garden. It was special. It felt it felt bigger then. It wasn't just another Rumble, man. It was the Royal Rumble match in Madison Square Garden, and it was John Cena returning when you thought you weren't going to see John for a long, long time.
Go
So
out of your way to see the match. I really enjoyed this Rumble match. I think it's one of the great
it,
Royal
it, it
Rumbles.
really one of the best. Yes, it is probably one of the top five.
For me, 92 is up there, 97 is up there, and this one is special, perhaps just because of Cena's return.
Yeah.
Let's do a few questions. The Butcher wants to know Hornswoggle left the Rumble match between the ropes and was never thrown over the top rope in an official elimination. When is he going to get his chance to sit at the head of the table? Bruce, I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, but he hadn't won it either.
But he never lost.
Never lost.
what if you're thinking what I'm thinking and I'm thinking what you're thinking, the next time SmackDown is in Wisconsin, Hornswoggle Roman
Gets
Reigns.
his shot.
I
Writes
smell
itself.
money. I smell money.
Not what I smell.
Joe wants to know, what is your all-time favorite moment in Madison Square Garden? So many great wrestling memories there, Bruce. Can you narrow it down to your very favorite?
Yeah, me tripping in my entrance at SummerSlam '88.
Come on. I mean,
okay, I'm sorry. I'll lie. That's my favorite moment. That was my moment, man. That was my fucking debut in Madison Square Garden. It was the first time as a performer that I'm performing live on pay-per-view, live on television at all. Because everything I had done at that point had all been taped. And I go out, first time that we were doing like a big extravagant entrance with colored lights and different things. You look at it now and you go, the pink fucking spotlight. What's the big deal? But the significance of it then.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
Oh, no doubt.
For me to go out and to do my thing and to make my spin and to trip on the damn step that I stepped over all day long, just making that walk back and forth and back and forth. So I knew I was running from Duggan at the end. I didn't want to trip on the end. And I know I'm getting this big entrance and it's different. It's unique and everything about it. And my favorite moment is I tripped in Madison Square Garden in my debut in the Garden, in my debut on pay-per-view, in my debut on live TV. That is my favorite moment in Madison Square Garden.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.